Do you know what the fight or flight reaction is? Well, it's basically our evolutionary response to a predatory threat. If a saber-toothed tiger was chasing you, you either stood and fought, fight, or you ran for your life, flight. So when our children are under stress, they go into fight or flight. One of the first signs that a child is under stress that they cannot manage is when they become aggressive in school. They hit, they bite, they throw chairs, or they become distracted, which is the flight part of fight or flight. So what's happening is their nervous systems, the stress regulating part of their brain is getting turned on. So we say that the stress regulating part of their brain has to do with a little almond-shaped part of the brain called the amygdala. It's a very primitive part of the brain. And it regulates stress throughout our lives. It helps us to manage it. What we know is that part of the brain is supposed to remain offline for the first year to 3 years, which is why mothers wear babies on their bodies. It's why babies stay close to their mothers in the first 3 years, to keep the amygdala quiet and only incrementally expose children to stress and frustration that they can manage. And your mother's there to help you digest the stress. What we're doing now by separating mothers and babies, by putting babies into daycare with strangers, is by sleep training babies, all these weird things that we're doing to babies, is we're turning the amygdala on. We're making it active precociously, too early. What happens when the amygdala is activated too early is it becomes very active and very large very quickly. The problem is then it shrivels up and burns out also because it cannot manage that kind of stress so early. When it ceases to be functional, it ceases to be functional for a lifetime. What we're seeing in children's brains is that the amygdala is growing very precociously large and the hippocampus, which is the off switch, is very small. We have an on switch going full speed, gas, no brakes, and no off switch. And that's causing ADHD. That's what's happening. This is a stress response. And again, instead of asking the right questions like, where is this coming from? What's causing the stress? Instead, we silence the children's pain. We tell parents, we'll medicate it and we'll just relieve the symptoms. Instead of medicating them, why don't we figure out what's happening to that child deeply that's causing them to go into fight or flight?